Hare Nama Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva 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 Gatiranyata.
Right. Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you all the assembled devotees for giving this opportunity again. Give me 1 more minute. I just start the what do you call the screen share. You can see
Yeah,
my
Prabhu.
screen now, right?
Yeah, Prabhu.
Okay, wonderful. So yes, Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you for joining. Om Ajnanatimidasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmitramina Tasmai Shri Guruvay Namaha. Namaste Krishna Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Namin Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachanini Vishesha Shunyadu Pashatha Desatan Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhar Swami Gaurava Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So we have assembled here. Normally it's a Bhagavatam class, but then today is a special day. Of course, today is the Gundicha day, Gundija Marchanam, and so cleaning the temple. And which temple? Gundicha temple, because tomorrow is the Rath Yatra. So Gopi Manohar Prabhu uh, requested that if we can have a wonderful Krishna katha, especially Jagannath katha, on today, so that creates or sets up the mood for tomorrow, Rath Yatra. So here in Melbourne, we have Rath Yatra in February, but nevertheless, especially wherever Jagannath is, we have Rath Yatra, whether it's in this month or whether it's next year in February. So these are Melbourne devotees or Melbourne personalities, not devotees, Melbourne personalities. We have Srila Prabhupada sitting upstairs in our Melbourne temple in Prabhupada house. And then we have Sri Sri Gaurnitai, whom Srila Prabhupada personally bathed in year 1975. And then we have Sri Sri Radha Vallabha. So uh, with their blessings and Guru's mercy, we continue our today's discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jagannath's Katha is also Krishna's Katha. So, um, the screen is visible, right?
Yeah, Prabhu. I can see. सबको दिख रहा है? Everybody can see it. Please
Yes,
confirm.
Prabhu.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, um, we all know and maybe we have experienced through television. This is wonderful place, one of the Dham, Purik Dham or Jagannath Dham or Jagannath Puri Dham or Purushottam Dham or Shri Kshetra. So we have so many different names for this wonderful temple, that is Jagannath Puri temple. And this festival is special festival where millions and millions of devotees attend um, the ceremony, the festival. Which is that festival? Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra, they are coming out of their home, the temple, Garbhagru, and they are coming out to bless all these millions of devotees. And not only devotees, but those who are not devotees, those who are still atheists, those who are in a non-human form, Jagannath comes out to bless them as well, whether it's a birds, beast, the other animals, the trees, plants, everyone participates in this festival. And we can see this in the picture. So many devotees have assembled for this Jagannath Balaram Subhadra Rath Yatra. And we are very fortunate that that Rath Yatra is happening tomorrow. So Lord Jagannath Balaram Subhadra Rath Yatra festival, which is going to happen on 27th, that is tomorrow, Friday, Jagannath Puri Dham, around the world, and at the ISKCON temples. Some of the ISKCON temples would celebrate tomorrow, like Ahmedabad will celebrate. Some other temples will celebrate little later, like Melbourne will celebrate little later. And we have our special Jagannath Baram Subhadra. They are from Rajapur. So this Jagannath Baram Subhadra is called Rajapur. Um, they are also there, and they would celebrate Rath Yatra. So this is the map of Puri. Of course, no one can create a map of a dham, but just that Krishna manifests his form in a Vigraha form. Similarly, Lord manifests a special place for us to get benefit, and that is called dham, where he personally appears, he personally comes, and then he resides there. So this is the map of Kshetra, Shri Kshetra, that is Puri Dham, and this is in the shape of conch. As we can see in Lakshmi Yantra, different signs are there, different temples are there, and in middle, Lord is sitting, residing. So, in this today's our presentation, we will cover little different aspects. So one is Jagannath, Lord Jagannath Baram Subhara's appearance. That is, two Leelas are related with that appearance. So appearance Leela 1, appearance Leela 2. And then we will consider Jagannath Baram Subhara's special mercy, especially for us who are following in the line of ISKCON, in the line of Srila Prabhupada, in the line of the 6 Goswamis. And then we may have some chance for question and answer, depending on that. So, I didn't have chance to go through that, what you call, the animation, so sorry. All the photos have come up straight away rather than one by one. But then, so if you go little background, so the first appearance Leela starts like this: that there was a king named Indradumna, who was the Orissa king, and he was very devoted. So before that, if you do some further research, some of the devotees, ISKCON devotees, they have done some research. I have provided the reference later, and I will send you the links as well. So they did some research, and they found that actually Krishna, he personally in one of the yugas, we don't know which one, but then he established his own worship in the form of Nila Madhava. So this is how the story starts. So actually he appeared in the form of Vigraha form, that is Nila Madhava. Nil means bluish or blue, and Madhava means Krishna. So he personally established this worship, and then it was a remote area in the holy land of Orissa. So there he was being worshipped, but then later on it was neglected, the worship. And then some other tribals, they started worshipping as well. Meanwhile, what happened is there was this king, Indradumna. He was so devoted, especially to Krishna. He was very religious. So he heard about this Nila Madhava worship, and he wanted to have darshan of the Nil Madhava. So going to the temple and taking darshan of Vigraha is the same as taking darshan of the actual, like if we can say real life darshan. There is no difference. It just, we may not have the realization of it, but the actual benefit, the actual spiritual potency is there. We may not completely absorb it. That is our problem. So similarly, king, he was so devoted. He felt like, now I must have a darshan of this Nila Madhava. I must somehow I want to have darshan of this Nila Madhav. So what he did, so of course he had many resources. So then one of the resources he Vidyapati. So he sent this devotee that you please go. Actually, he sent so many soldiers and so many other this kind of sincere servants to different directions. And to Vidyapati, he sent to one place that you go towards Orissa and then you find out if he is there. So then he sent, and then of course, um, because he knew that king is also devoted, so he take his permission and blessings, and then he left. So where he came? So after somehow it. Oh yeah, this is the same. Okay, I have put it this way. So then after many months travel, he came across one place where it appeared that maybe he is worshipped here. So then um, he went to that tribal or went to that place, and then he met some members of that community. And then, of course, uh, little by little, he found out, yes, this is the place, Viswavasu, right? The place, the 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 person who was in charge of the tribal is Viswavasu. So then he became so friendly with him, and actually, he developed a relationship with him as well as his daughter. She was again the same age. So then, of course, they met and then they had the relationship. That means they got married. Um, so now he started staying with that king of the tribal. So then later on, uh, through that wife, devoted wife, it was revealed that yes, indeed, the father he goes in the mid of night, he goes to a remote place and then he comes back with so much aromatic, like fragrance and so much nicely, like become prafulit, like joyful, like when you go out of like at the end of the night sorry at the end of the day, we know how we feel, like we are so like kind of like our energy level has gone down, we just want to sleep and just we are not fresh. But then he would notice that this person goes in the middle of night and comes back in the like morning, like 5 6 Mangla time, and then he's so fresh, nice fragrance is coming out. And then he inquired through the wife, and then wife revealed, yes, he is worshipping Nirbhadra. So he requested, and then through his wife, it was possible that he said, okay, I will take you. But there was a condition that you have to tie your blindfold your eyes. So then he did that, but then he was intelligent, and that's what we need in bhakti is yes sincerity. And Prabhupada used to say to preach Krishna consciousness we need two things. One is knowledge, the intelligence, then bhakti, our actual we have to have a bhakti, and then second sincerity, and the second thing is intelligence to preach. So we need to have intelligence. So he was intelligent. What he did, some they say he put rye, I forgot the English word, but it's a black seeds.
Mustard.
Tiny, huh?
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed.
Mustard. Yeah, mustard. Thank you. So mustard seed. So he put mustard seeds in his hand, and then मुट्ठी में डाल दिया, फिर वो जाने लगे. Then what happened? Little by little, he is throwing these mustard seeds, and then he reached, and then he had a darshan. Actually, yeah, he's here. Anyway, I didn't put that picture. He had a darshan of Nila Madhava. So then he had a darshan of Nila Madhava. He's like, wow, this is so beautiful. Now I must bring the king here. So then what happened is after a certain time, he says, now I must return. Where do I have to go? Oh, I have to go back to the king for other purpose. And then he went. Meanwhile, time passed, the rain came, and then these mustards, they dry, plant come out. So the king received, and king uh, king received, and then king was so happy. Then he wanted to come. So okay, just making it quicker, he came, and then he wanted to have darshan. But then meanwhile, the Lord disappeared, and then king became so morose, like wow, I lost the chance again. He became so sad, and this is what it should happen to us as well. When we are doing the service, when we are having darshan, we should become so much ecstatic. And when seva goes, sometimes our seva will go away if we don't do it well. Then seva, the management will say, okay, maybe you take a break. Or sometimes we reach to the temple late when the darshan is closed. So then we should feel morose, not just like, oh, isme kya hai? I will come down tomorrow. Not like that. No, we should feel sad. Even if we don't feel sad, then we should feel sad for not feeling sad. That's the mood we should develop. Hankering for Krishna. So anyway, the king reached, he didn't find. So then he said, oh, so then Lord came to his dream. He said, don't worry. This is what will happen. One day, tomorrow, you will go to a river, and then you will find a log, wood coming, floating, and then you prepared nice vigra of me, because this is what my desire is. So then he found the wood came, and then uh, he started carving, but nobody can carve. So then it is said that Brahmaji, or sometimes the Vishwakarma, yeah, they personally came. Actually, I heard like Brahmaji came. But anyway, uh, the personalities, Devi personalities came, and then he started carving. But the condition was that the work will go on for 21 days, and king shouldn't interrupt. If he interrupts, then he will leave. He came in like a old body, like a aged person. So then for 7 days went, 10 days went, and then voice stopped coming out, and then wife again. If something good happens, that's the cause behind is wife. I'm saying for good. So then the queen becomes little agitated. What is this? Maybe you should check it out. Then king, after many requests, such requests, king checked it out. He opened the door, and there you go. We have the darshan of this form, Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra. And king again, he was so morose. What is this? What did I do? This is half done job. The vigraha is not complete. Where is the hand? Where is the leg? Where is the other bodily feature? And he was sad again. And of course, queen was very sad. And then the Lord appeared to his dream again. That don't worry. Actually, sometimes it says Narada Muni came. So don't worry. This is the form the Lord wanted. Or sometimes it says Lord personally came, just like he came before. He said, don't worry, this is the form I wanted to be worshipped in this age from starting now. Because this is more ecstatic form. This is out of love, compassion. And then the king accepted, and then he established the temple worship. So this is how the temple was established. And that's the appearance day is called Snana Yatra. And we have this Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra. And for us, similar story is there for ISKCON, especially if you hear Malati Mataji, Her Grace Malati Mataji, Srila Prabhupada's disciple. She is describing how Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra came to San Francisco. So she went in to a store and she got one doll. She didn't know this is Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra. She got one doll. Somehow she liked the black doll, a tiny little doll. So she said she used the four-finger trick. What is that four-finger trick? Four-finger trick is she steal it. She stole Lord Jagannath. She didn't know. She just thought this is a doll. And they didn't have time. They didn't have money at that time. That's what she described. And they were in a hippie mood in the sense. So hippie, they didn't care for anything. Okay, you like it, you grab it, you take it. Not that you have to pay for it like that. So then she brought Lord Jagannath, tiny little Jagannath, at home to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada, as soon as he saw, he offered obeisances, full obeisances, dandavat. He said, oh my God, what is this? I mean, we have seen, we offer obeisances to Prabhupada, but now Prabhupada is offering obeisances to this little doll. And then Prabhupada explains, oh yes, this is Lord Jagannath. You know what is the meaning of Jagannath? She says, no. Jagannath means the Lord of the universe. This is Krishna himself. He has appeared. By the way, from where did you get and how did you get? Then she explains, and then she says, oh, Prabhupada asked, but there must be other two as well, because they are together. Yes, there were two, but I like him, so I got him. So no, go again and then bring them back as well. So then she went again, she did the same trick. She brought Balaram and Subhadra. So this is how Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra appeared in ISKCON. And then Prabhupada asked Shyamasundar Prabhu to carve Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra in a bigger form. That was small form, Vigra form or Utsav form. And then he asked, and of course, this is Shyamasundar Prabhu also describes that when he was carving, he, of course, that time he used to smoke. He used to smoke cigarettes. So literally, he used to put cigarette box on the top of Lord Balaram, Lord Jagannath, like that. And one day Prabhupada saw. He said, what is this? Prabhupada, it's a cigarette. I smoke. Prabhupada said, how many? Then he gave the number. And he said, okay, that's not a problem. Every day you can reduce one by one. Today you are smoking this many, tomorrow you can smoke, you reduce one and then you smoke this many. Later on, it will. And then after like this sentence, Prabhupada was walking, and then he said, by the way, and then that cigarette pack was there on the top of one of Jagannath or Balaram. And then Prabhupada with his cane, he just threw it away. And he said, by the way, don't let this cigarette come in between you and Lord Jagannath. And that's it. That was the end of Shyamasundar Prabhu's cigarette episode. He didn't smoke afterward. So this is Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra's mercy upon us. They did the Ratha Yatra. And we have Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra here at Melbourne as well. And they are so merciful. They are extremely merciful. Especially we have Snana Yatra coming up in December. Snana Yatra is appearance of Lord Jagannath, Balaram, Subhadra. Yes. And after that, certain time, we have Ratha Yatra. So that was one Leela. And the second Leela, of course, is written down here. I wanted to do one by one. Maybe I didn't have chance, so I forgot animation. So appearance Leela 2. This happened during Krishna's pastime Leela here on the planet Earth 5,000 years ago. So what was that? There was a solar eclipse. So what is solar eclipse? Generally is considered as bad or inauspicious time. So what happens? The religious person or the holy people will go to the holy river or nearby river and take a bath, fresh bath, especially during that time. So, or they will go to pilgrimage. So this is what Krishna and family decided. So from Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, different Vasis, Vrindavan Vasis, Mathura Vasis, Dwarka Vasis, along with Krishna, they all came to Kurukshetra for the holy bath during this solar eclipse. So what happened? So there, of course, naturally you get together. So what you do? You have a nice, wonderful time. Just like we see in marriage ceremonies, we all get together. Nowadays, they forget. In recent marriage I attended, um, they forget about the gods. They don't now. They nowadays they don't care about Ganesh, Lord Shiva, Mother XYZ like Parvati or Saraswati or whoever, Lakshmi ji. They don't care. Nowadays they care for music. DJ has to be there. And then Ganesh ji, one car in front of entrance they will put, and that's about it. Not worship. But then during this time they cared. They cared for this religious ceremony. So they went. So together they assembled, then they wanted to hear about different activities. Whose activities? Krishna Balaram's activities. So the queens, especially Dwarka queens, they requested, because even though they were living, Krishna Balaram were living in Dwarka, they were remembering Vrindavan. They were remembering Vrindavan Vasis, especially gopis and sakhas and everyone they were remembering. Sometimes they would call out their names, and these queens will feel like, oh, what is this? Who are they? Maybe tell us. And then they wouldn't tell. They wouldn't tell. Because if they will describe, then they will go back. They want to go back to Vrindavan. So then they requested to Rohini, because Mother Rohini is such a personality who was present all the three places. I mean, four places if you consider Gokul in between. So she was present at Dwarka. She was present at Mathura, then Gokul, then Vrindavan, and then she was present in Dwarka as well. So she is one of the rare personalities who was present in all these leelas. So she could explain. So then she started, but then she had a condition that um, when we are speaking, when we are hearing, don't let Krishna Balaram come. And then Queen say, "Oh, what's the problem? Let them come." No. If you don't understand what will happen. If they hear, then they will go back to Vrindavan. They will run down to Vrindavan. They will leave your company. Oh, no. We don't want that. Let's do one thing. What? Let's close the doors and then we will hear. They all sat down in one room. Rohini ji is explaining or describing. And then, oh, we have to guard, because nowadays we have security lock, we have camera system. We can see who is coming. From the distance, we can see. That time they didn't have. So they need a real person. Now we are going for artificial intelligence. We have real intelligence. We don't utilize them. And we want to go for artificial way. So then that time they utilize real intelligence. What is that? Subhadra. So Subhadra, maybe you can stand at the door and see if Krishna Balaram is coming. And Subhadra say, okay, no problem. But then I also want to hear. Yeah, you can put your ears to the door and you can keep your eyes on the way if they are coming. So, okay, no problem. Then she started hearing. She became so absorbed in hearing Krishna katha, Balaram katha, that she lost her senses. So she lost her senses in the sense she became so ecstatic, and this is the symptoms of ecstasy, that our eyes become large, then our the body become loose, and all our anga, different bodily limbs, they become like inside, just they go inside. So these are the symptoms, and Subhadra started experiencing them. So what happened? Meanwhile, Krishna Balaram also came to know, because the whole Vrindavan is empty. Sorry, the all the area is empty. So where is everyone? They were looking. Then later they found, oh, this Krishna Katha, because Krishna and Balaram, whenever someone is glorifying Krishna Balaram, they would understand that, oh, this our Katha is going on. They will become pleased, and that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Machitagata Mataprana Bodhayant. My devotees, their thought dwells in me. They derive great pleasure in what? Discussing about me with one another. This is what he says, he knows. So then he came to know, and they also started hearing. See, they did not interrupt, rather, they started hearing. So, Krishna Katha is so wonderful, so auspicious, so delicious, so ecstatic that even Lord Himself wants to hear. He is not saying who is describing, he is saying Krishna Katha. Of course, Mother Rohini is describing, so it's very nice. But the same way, even Krishna Katha is so wonderful. Of course, Prabhupada has said, they have given us caution that don't hear from a serpent, Mayavadis. But otherwise, devotees, if they devotees in proper Guru Parampara, they are describing, is so ecstatic. So they also became ecstatic, and they also lost their senses. And then they manifested that form which is visible to us in this form. And meanwhile, Narada Muni appeared. So Narada Muni appeared, and then he saw that form, and this is the first time he's seeing in this earthly atmosphere, material world. And then he requested the Lord that, please, my Lord, this is your most ecstatic form. Kindly please bless me and bless the whole world by your this appearance, this form. Let the whole world see this wonderful form. Because now you are what? You are hearing Vrindavan Vasis Katha. You are hearing loving exchanges between Vrindavan Vasis and yourself. And you are appreciating that. And that form, the divine love, is manifested through this form. So let everyone experience this, not only me. I am so satisfied, but I want you to display this form to everyone. And let that form be manifest such a way that you don't close your doors. You don't close your doors. You just give them the darshan all the time. And they say, okay, so be it. So then that form is called Mahabhav Prakash. So Mahabhav, what is that? Mahabhava Swarupani, Radha Thakurani. So Radharani is Mahabhav Swarupani. What is that? Great love, great ecstasy, like epitome, Mahabhav. Bhav is there, and this is Mahabhav. So deep, so love, so much love. He says, let that form be manifest. So Krishna says, yes, that will be manifested. Through Jagannath Puri, through my Jagannath Baram Subhadra form. So there you go. We have Jagannath Baram Subhadra appearing. The ecstatic form of Krishna. Mahabhav means the highest ecstasy, and Prakash means manifestation. Jagannath is literally the ecstatic form of Krishna. So this is how Lord Jagannath Balaram Subhadra appeared. And of course, then we have, I wish I had done, animation. I should have done it. Okay, so before we come into the Ratha Yatra, we have a special day or special ceremony which is in between. What is that? That is called Gundicha Marjanam. Gundicha Marjanam. So Ratha Yatra festival is there. It's very ecstatic festival. But then before that, we have another special festival that is also ecstatic, and that is called Gundicha Marjanam. So Gundicha is a temple, and Jagannath Puri temple is there, and there is another temple called Gundicha temple. Who is Gundicha? Gundicha is the wife of the queen of King Indradumna. So what is the relevance here then? Why this is called Gundicha Marjanam? Why special mention of her? So what happened is, when King Indradumna, he established the temple, the Lord appeared, Jagannath Balaram Subhadra. He was worshipping with the help of all these servants. Then Lord, he became so happy, blissful. He wanted to bless the king. So he asked the king, oh, okay, I can give you some blessings. You ask for it. And king said, no, I don't want any other blessings. No, you ask. He said, okay, Lord, if you wish, then let that be that I do not have my own sons, my own future generation. I don't want that. And then Lord said, oh, why? That's like the Lord, it surprised Lord. He said, why? Because then I don't want my generation to claim that this temple belongs to me. This is Lord Jagannath. You are the Lord of the universe. This temple belongs to every living entity, all the living entities, all the living entities. Whoever is on this material world, especially on this earthly planet, this temple belongs to all of them. So naturally, then sometimes the wife will become sad, like Gundicha, wife, his wife. Gundicha became sad because normally husband, wife wants children, especially son. So she became sad, and then Lord also knew from the expression. So then he asked, "Oh my dear, why you are so sad?" Oh, don't worry, my lord, nothing. Then of course he understood. He said, oh, you wanted son? Oh, then I'm your son. So, oh, really? Then she became so happy, so blissful. Yes, my mother, now every year I will come to you for a special darshan. You want to see me? I will give a special darshan. You will feed me that time. So this is how Lord arranged. By every year during this Ratha Yatra, he goes to Gundicha temple to bless Gundicha Devi. So this is how Lord reciprocates. He reciprocates everyone. So then before the Ratha Yatra, this is what happens. Gundicha Majana. Majana means cleaning. So this is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Chapter 12 verses, first verse and then 80 verse. So 80th verse onwards, this is nicely described. Especially this is about Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is doing the Gundicha Marjanam. So Lord Chaitanya, he becomes so ecstatic seeing the form of the Lord. Especially during Ratha Yatra, he becomes so blissful. At the same time, he becomes more blissful, cleansing the temple for the Lord. So what does he do? He personally consider this seva. Lord himself, we know Lord Chaitanya. Who is Lord Chaitanya? So Lord himself comes and then he experiences great ecstasy in cleansing the temple. So he gives each devotee their own broom and all the paraphernalia, and he is giving personally one by one all the required paraphernalia. And then they go, and then what do they do? They clean everything with the help of brooms and pocha and everything. They clean inside and outside. Ceiling, this is nicely described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Ceiling, Snihansan, where Lord is sitting, they are cleansing that. They are cleansing everything, big or small. They cleanse everything. And then what do? They cleanse the temple hall, they clean everything. And then they do it again. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the temple in great jubilation, chanting the holy name of Lord Shri Krishna all the time. Similarly, all the devotees were also chanting and at the same time performing their respective duties. So this is what we should do. If we want to experience the bliss of doing service, then we should chant Hare Krishna. Yes, we can put on kirtan. Many times we see we put on the kirtan, but just putting on kirtan is not sufficient. It's just one way. We are just hearing. But if we participate, if we really chant, doesn't matter. We don't have to become choir. We don't have to become like a nicely singing person. Like we don't want to get any trophy or award. Rather, in whatever our own tune or melody we can sing, that way please Lord more. Why? Because he says Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. He says Satatam Kirtanto. And he says Mame Vamsajiv. Each and every individual living entity is my part and parcel. So that means it is our individual service opportunity to do something for Lord, singing for Lord. And that's what Mother Yashoda does. She is churning the butter and she is singing Krishna's glories, Krishna's pastimes. All the Vrindavan Vasis are doing. Gopis, they are remembering. Gopas, they are remembering their pastime. Oh, Krishna did this, Krishna did that. And then Guy, they are remembering. Krishna pulled my tail like this. He did this to me. So similarly, we should do that as well. Then what happened is entire body of Lord was covered with dust and dirt. In this way, it became transcendently beautiful. At the same time, when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears. In some places, he even cleansed with those tears. Consider that. We may not get the tears, but at least we should use the water and clean the temple. Then they cleaned Bhoga Mandir, yard, residential quarters. You will see if you go to Jagannath Puri. I haven't been there, but I wish. So then they did the second time. This is given in 94. And then they were calling out Krishna's name, Krishna's name, Gopal, Govind, Madhav, so many other names, Krishna. Then what happened is one of the Gaudiya Vaishnava, he came, he was very intelligent, he was smart. And what he did, he brought the water and then he cleansed the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya. And then he drank that water. I mean, consider, because he realized this is none other than Lord Jagannath manifesting in this form. This is Krishna himself appearing in this Kali Yuga. So he drank that water. And Lord Chaitanya externally was upset. What did you do? Just like sometimes our Guru Maharaj will be upset as well if we take too much of seva. Sometimes we will chastise, but then internally is pleased. Why? Because we are cultivating that love, devotion for him and for Krishna. So then they did that. Also roadways, gateways, Narasimha temple, so many places. While they are doing this, they are doing chanting, dancing and cleansing. So this is how Lord Chaitanya celebrated Ratha Yatra with the Gundicha Majan. And of course, we have so many other explanation. So this is Lord Chaitanya and associate doing Gundicha Majan. Of course, I have already given that one about Gundicha Devi. See Lord Chaitanya sitting, cleansing everything. They are chanting, dancing, buckets of water, throwing water here and there. So, okay, that brings some other aspect, that is learning aspect. So, what is, of course, we can go on describing the Leela, but then with Srimad Bhagavatam, if you see, Srila Prabhupada, he has done philosophy as well. He has given us the message what we should do as an individual and as a collective, ISKCON society. He gives. So similarly, behind all the pastimes, there is learning. If we just see the pastime just for the sake of pastime, then we will never learn. Because we will just hear, and that's what happens in normal, like if you see a religious organization, in the sense, so many saptas they do, Bhagavad Sapta and so many other sapta. But then they are just discussing Krishna katha, but just Krishna Leela, not philosophical understanding, not science of self-realization perspective. So that we have to do, and that's what the teaching of Lord Chaitanya, that's what the teaching of Srila Prabhupada, Sikh Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. He gave the whole nectar of devotion. He says, nectar of instruction, he says, do this, don't do this, like that. So this is what the learning behind these pastimes as well. What is that? Of course, so many learnings are there. Some of these learnings are here. So cleansing is not ordinary task. We consider, oh, I'm doing the cleaning. Especially on the festival day, we are doing certain cleaning. No, it's not ordinary. Whenever we find the opportunity, we should do that. It's a great happiness. Because we sing in Gurvastaka. What we sing? Shringaratana Mandira Majana. And then we also see in Cheto Darpan Majana. What happens? So Guru engages his disciples in temple worship and also dressing the deities. So both cleaning and dressing the deities are highest level, and that is also highest level. Cleaning is also highest level. So we shouldn't feel like, oh, I'm just doing the cleaning. No, it's something great ecstasy we can derive. Especially it depends on our, later we will see, devotion. Then we had a chance at Melbourne Temple. I had a chance as well to do the full cleansing before JBS arrival, Jagannath Baram Subhadra arrival after Snana Yatra. So what happens Snana Yatra on 26th of December? So it will happen this year as well. We bathe bigger Jagannath, bigger Baram, bigger Subhadra in open area, and all the devotees they come and they also bathe them, and then they go for that 15 days period, and then they come back. So when they come back, we clean the temple before they come back. So what is that? So Rath Yatra we are celebrating the behind the scene. This is what is happening. Cleansing of the temple, cleansing of our heart is happening, so that with that pure consciousness we will take part in Rath Yatra festival, Rath Yatra ceremony. So for cleansing, what is required? One is responsibility. We just have to be there. Many times we may avoid, of course, physically if there is some problem, like if someone is having fever, or someone is having like heads and legs are not working properly, painful, then they may avoid, they don't do it. But generally we just be there, especially while we are young, when the hands and legs are working, when we can carry some heavy load, better we be there. You know, we just be there for this service. Accountability. So that means we do everything thoroughly, every area nicely. That's what Lord Chaitanya made sure, that everyone collects dirt from every corner, and then with a devotion, not burden. And that's what it counts. That it will clean our Cheto Darpan Majanam. It will cleanse our heart as well. So this does not mean you have to do everything, in the sense, like you do A to Z. No, you do what you take responsibility, and you do it nicely, sincerely. That's about it. Not that we may not be able to do everything. Like a whole temple is given. There are so many devotees Lord Chaitanya has engaged. See, so he is not saying that you do this corner, that corner, that corner, that corner, everything you do. No. Okay, you are focusing on this area, you do it nicely. Like that. Krishna, you are cleaning Krishna's mandir. Krishna is cleaning your heart, or your residence, that is in the heart. Krishna is cleaning personally, because that's what he reciprocates. He is a Bhakta Vatsalya. He is Bhakta Vatsal. He reciprocates. And that reciprocation, regardless what is our level. We are a tiny devotee, we are just like starting today, or we are here for last 10 years, or 15 years, or 50 years. Doesn't matter. He will reciprocate accordingly what we give. And this is one of the Brahminical quality, that is cleanliness. It's next to godliness. So now we quickly go through our Jagannath Baram Subhadra Rath Yatra, especially for ISKCON. Of course, tomorrow we are celebrating as a Puri Rath Yatra, and maybe as ISKCON Rath Yatra as well, some other places. So for us, we have wonderful pastimes of actual Rath Yatras, what Prabhupada did. So here we can see our Srila Prabhupada, Abhay, is celebrating his Rath Yatra. He requested his father to build the cart, and he's celebrating, he's worshipping them with his friends, just like Prahlad Maharaj did at the age of 7. He also engaged his friends and families, their parents, in the Rath Yatra. And that same Prabhupada, he became 70 years old, and he celebrated Rath Yatra. Before he was in Kolkata, now he is in San Francisco. He celebrated. bigger scale, bigger devotees. I mean, many devotees, adults, hippies, and so many. And one of the devotees, great devotees, is Jayananda Prabhu in the third picture on the top row. Prabhupada, he requested and he instructed that whenever Rath Yatra is happening in ISKCON, we should have Jayananda Prabhu's photo in place on that card, one of the card. He said for Subhadra, but one of the card. Why? Because he is the first that devotee who ISKCON devotee who left the world. Especially he was suffering from cancer, but he was building the Rath Yatra cart such a way that nobody wouldn't even know or think that this person is going through this much pain. Cancer. I mean, if you wish we don't any devotee don't have cancer, but if someone has a cancer, it's so painful. Recently, one of the devotees here, local devotees, they go through so much pain, especially chemotherapy. So much pain. You lose your hairs and your internal is like so much pain. You feel your all the angas are like craving for energy because the cancer cells takes away all your energies because they are multiplying faster rate. So body needs that energy. Other body parts don't get the energy. So you are like dying for the energy. So he was going through, but then he built the cart, and he was so expert that he would engage, even walker, like passing by person. He say, "Oh, Mike, can you help me tighten this bolt?" And the person will come and help. He was temple president. I'm not sure whether it's New York or San Francisco, but he was temple president. But then he would still work as a mechanic, car driver, fixing this, fixing that. Like they wouldn't see him in the sense like that way, Oh, I'm the boss, I'm the president, like that. And he built the cart from scratch. He engaged so many devotees, and he happily left the world. Just after Rath Yatra. So Prabhupada said, he has gone back. Krishna has called you early so that you don't go through the painful experience of your disease. That's what Prabhupada wrote to him after he left the body. And then here, bottom picture, we have Lord Chaitanya chanting and dancing in front of Lord Jagannath in Rath Yatra. Lord Nityanand is there and the Panchatattva chanting and dancing so jubilantly. And the same Srila Prabhupada did with all his devotees as well. Srila Prabhupada in front of Lord Jagannath. Subhadra Mai is there. This is Subhadra Mai. All the devotees. So this is our Rath Yatra. We can say our. Somebody asked Prabhupada, Indian person, Prabhupada, there are so many Krishna temples. Why you are building your own? Maybe why not you take Dattak? Why don't you take other like Krishna temple as yours? Like make them as yours. Prabhupada didn't answer. And then this person asked again. And then Prabhupada said, "Who is that lady?" The person, he was like baffled. He said, "Yeah, that's my wife." He said, "Why you get married to your wife?" The person was baffled. And then he said, "Naturally, for son. So you have a son, right?" I say, "Yes." So, but there are so many sons and daughters loitering on the street. Anath, so many anath. Why don't you take one of them as your son? So, how can it be, Prabhupada? I want my own. This Prabhupada says same way. This is my Krishna. I want to build temple for my Krishna. Like in the parampara. The same way we have so many Rath Yatras. Puri Rath Yatra is also there. We appreciate. And we have our wonderful ISKCON Rath Yatras as well, that we can participate nicely. We can recall the great memories of our ISKCON Rath Yatras around the world and Prabhupada's mercy on today. So then we can pray to Lord Jagannath, that Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami, bhava tume. That, oh my Lord Jagannath, please come to my vision. Nayana pathagami bhavat tume. When will you appear in front of my eyes? And why we have this mood? Because this is the mood we have for gopis. Because gopis, Krishna left Vrindavan. Actually, he doesn't leave Vrindavan, but he left. And then gopis were sad. They wanted him to come back. They wanted to come back as soon as possible. So when they met at this Kurukshetra for solar eclipse, they had that mood. Oh, Krishna has appeared. Krishna has come from Dwarka. Now we want to get this Krishna to Vrindavan. They wanted to drag Krishna to Vrindavan. Not drag in the sense that way, but in the sense like they want to pull him to back to Vrindavan. So this is the mood. So when we do the Ratha Yatra, we have the string. This string is attached to the Rath. So we are pulling the string to bring Krishna back to Vrindavan, back to our heart. That's the mood. That is why we sing this Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagami Bhava Tume. So with that, we stop here our presentation. And that's net 1 hour. If anyone has any question or comment or correction.
Hare Krishna. Pranam. Thank you, Prabhu, for a wonderful PowerPoint presentation, such wonderful pastimes, starting from how Jagannath appeared into this world and how Jagannath appeared into his form. Thank you, Prabhu. It's a wonderful pastime, I'm sure. There wouldn't be any questions, but still, if somebody has any questions, please start asking. Raise your hands.
Question or correction or comment, either way. I mean,
correction or any comments, please do that. Anybody? Okay. So thank you. I'll just say the prayer. Svancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindubhyascha patitaram pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha.
Thank you, bro. Gopi Manohar Prabhu, thank you, and thank you all the assembled devotees. Your Sangha is going on. That's so wonderful, and thank you for providing this opportunity again for this service. Thank you.